Hello everyone. Through this video, I'm trying to answer some of the questions I have received in the comment box under my videos over the past 10 days. I know that is a very small channel I have, and I may not have those many of comments, but still I want to answer them. Honestly, I love answering every question that a learner asks because each question reflects curiosity, and that's what makes learning beautiful. But sometimes the only limitation is time, not arrogance or ignorance. If you don't see an instant reply, it's simply because I couldn't get to the question yet. So one small request, please don't delete your question. I do track of them, try to answer sooner or later. Your question may help not only you, but also many other learners who might have the same type of questions. So thanks for your patience and trust. So I received the first question, and the question is about the discontinuity question from calculus. So I think this comment is deleted, but already I had taken the screenshot just to sort out in the question list to answer. So the question is for sir, can you make a video on continuity at a point and types of discontinuities, because my teacher told continuity should be discussed in the domain of function, but there is a question asked in JEE Main 2013 online on continuity of composite functions where denominator becomes 0 and that point is not in the domain. Still they counted that point as a point of discontinuity. So this is one of the most common confusions students have in continuity. And that the doubt is should we check continuity only in the domain? And what if the point itself is not in the domain? Can it still be called as a point of discontinuity and so on? So let me just give my view. Let's clear this with full clarity as my attempt. So the first thing is the pure mathematical definition we have to understand that continuity is always defined at a point where the function exists. If you have to define the continuity in an interval, we say by the help of the definition of continuity at a point. Like we say the function is continuous in interval if at every point of the interval, the function is continuous. It means, in principle, conceptually, the continuity is the concept defined at a point. So formally, what is the definition? You know very well. A function fx is continuous is said to be continuous at any point x equals to a if the fa exists. It means that the function value at a must exist. The second thing is the limit x approaches a of that function fx should exist. And the third thing, that both are equal. So notice one thing, the first condition is the existence of the function at the very point itself. If fa does not exist, the question of continuity doesn't even arise. And maybe that's the point of confusion many students have. So what happens that the tricky part is that, especially in the contest examination or this kind of examination of like JEE, when the question says that find the number of points where the function is discontinuous, they're often expecting you to list all the troublesome points at which the function can be not defined and also the function is going to be discontinuous. So the points where the function is not defined is also one of the troublesome points, and it is actually arising from the domain problems. The second thing is the points where function is defined but the limit fails is actual discontinuity. Or the third may be the function is defined and the limit is not equal to the function value. So your question was, Like I have a I believe that this is the question you're asking, because this is a question came in the composite function. There was another question also, and that question is this one, but this has no denominator. So I believe this is not the question you're asking. So this is the question we have, that the f be a composite function of x defined by fu 1 by u squared plus u minus 2, where ux is 1 by x minus 1, then the number of points x where f is discontinuous. So I don't think it's a very confusing one to see that the f of u is not defined at 2 points. That is, u is equal to -2 and u is equal to 1. But when we are doing the composition of f and u, we are looking for the domain of the composite function. And the domain of the composite function depends on the values of x now. First of all, we'll find those values of x at which u is going to be -2 or 1. So that's why we are equating the value of u as 2 to 1 by x minus 1, so that we can find the values of x. So in this way, we get those values of x at which u is going to be 0, and making the denominator of fu 0, and the function is not defined at those points, so the function cannot be continuous at those points. The third thing, maybe the confusion of that, is that the ux is also not defined at x equals to 1, and how this 1 is counted in the point of discontinuity. So think like that. If the u is not defined at all at any point, how you can further define the fu? And so that is also a point of discontinuity to be counted, because when x equals to 1, u doesn't exist. There's no such u you have to put there. So automatically now the new domain is dependent on x. So x is not to be taken as 1. So at 1, the function, the composition function, is itself not defined, because u is not to be defined there. That is why this 1 is to be counted also. And for those values of x also, you have to count at which the u square plus u minus 2 are going to be 0. So that's why the 3 points of discontinuity. For the video part of that, what you said that can you create video of discontinuity, I will definitely try to create a deep dive videos in continuity and differentiability. Okay, now let's move to the second question. I found the question number 2 is, so how to learn coordinate geometry for JEE Advanced. So to learn coordinate geometry for JEE Advanced, the first step, I believe, is build visual understanding. The lines, the circles, the parabolas, ellipses, and hyperbolas. You don't have to memorize the formula. Try to visualize. Every result you have to visualize how it is happening in plane. Now the second point, what JEE Advanced actually test is, the thing is, the JEE Advanced loves the family of curve problems, the locus problems. You can find scattered many problems here and there in the JEE Advanced questions. The intersection problems, they try to intersect the 2 or 3 curves together, and they make students to find out the point of intersection or maybe some other things around it. And in this also I can add parametric form of the curves, the parabola, the ellipse, the hyperbola, all the parametric forms you must have a command on, and also how to use parameter to get the equation of tangent, to get the equation of normal sometimes, and other things. Also, sometimes the inequalities of graphs. Maybe this will not help you the exact coordinate geometry thing, but it will give you the idea how the graphs are drawn. Inequality means that Suppose I'm saying y square is greater than or equal to 4x. How do we see that which reasons should be taken in account of to handle the question? It also helps you to find out the area under curve, the integration problems. And the main important thing is that JEE Advanced, often multiple ideas are blended into one problem. So all the properties of the parabolas, circles, the ellipse and hyperbolas must be in your hot list. So try to write all the properties in one sheet, or maybe plenty of sheet, or maybe in one logbook or notebook, and try to extract the common property. As you can see that once we understand the equation of tangent on the parabola or the circle, we can extend the same idea to find out the equation of a tangent at a point on ellipse or hyperbola. The structure of the tangent equation is similar in all the conics. So these kind of properties are also there, some deeper properties. So once you are reading the properties, try to visualize it. How you visualize it? Don't mug up the properties from the scratch. Try to draw the diagram of that, how the geometrically the property is making sense. Then only you will not have to mug up. The second thing is, whenever you are learning any property, try to prove it. First by yourself, or by taking help of your teacher or any guidebook or anything. But the first thing is you should try to prove it by your own. The third point I want to make for the JEE preparation for coordinate geometry is there must be algebraic sharpness in calculation. So like a quadratic in two variables, those kind of sharpness should be there. How to identify that whether two variables equation is given, is it representing a circle, or how can we algebraically manipulate that to understand the shifted kind of conic is there or not. And also one thing, that the algebraic sharpness means that the simplification of equation before jumping into the formula should be required. And algebraic sharpness also include to not get afraid of longer expressions. Often they're simply beautifully connected, and they beautifully expressed as a long expression, which may be dreadful if you just look at the first sight. But if you try to understand and simplify it, it comes in a way that you can handle them step by step. And finally, I will add to it that practice smart. Like start solving JEE Advanced problems, PYQs. Even, I suggest that every day you must have 5 to 10 questions of JEE Advanced, including JEE Mains. So if you're taking JEE Mains, 30 questions, add 10 questions of JEE Advanced to it. If you are in the phase of doing coordinate geometry, if you are in the phase of doing all the chapters together, include at least 1 or 2 questions of JEE Advanced in which coordinate geometry was asked. There are many books you can see. If you ask me the books, I will simply suggest the Arihantan Singh. This is a very popular one. Or if you are continuing in coaching or any like a edtech coaching, you can simply solve their modules. The next point I want to make to master the coordinate geometry, for any other like a branch of this JEE preparation mathematics, create a mistake logbook or mistake notebook. Write down every trap where you got stuck after solving and referring to the answer or understanding the answer from your teacher. Write down the trap you didn't get through actually. Even tricky idea, whenever you encounter, you just write them down. then only you will identify your weakness and appreciate your strength. And last thing to remember, if in coordinate geometry you are not memorizing the formulas, you are just learning to see equation and think visually and solve algebraically. That's how you can master the coordinate geometry for JEE Advanced. That's what I think. The third question I want to answer is this one, that I'm a dropper for JEE 2026. How to make my math preparation to advanced level? So first of all, you have to answer this thing, that you are dropper by what failure, or by what decision, I can say, not the failure. So by what decision you are dropping this year, that due to you are not making into JEE Advanced, or you didn't make into JEE Advanced, or you didn't make into JEE Mains itself, like you are getting very low rank in JEE Mains. So if you I believe that you have cleared the JEE Mains to get appear into the JEE Advanced, and maybe you are not getting that much good rank in the JEE Advanced. That's why you are asking this question. So this may be a good decision, because now your preparation is not about studying more. It's about the studying sharper. And there are some points I want to make for it. First, every basic concept should be absolutely crystal clear. Don't leave a single gap in formulas, standard results, and key theorems. Revise your theory notes quickly, but carefully and with caution. So one thing I actually observed in the JEE Advanced aspirants, after the examination, they come and discuss to me that the most JEE Advanced mistakes don't happen because you don't know something. They happen because you forgot or misapply some basics. So to avoid this thing, every day you must have a good amount of practice. The second point I want to make for this dropper, I don't like the dropper term, but still I'm using it. So the shift to conceptual problems, because the last 2 years you might have prepared and you have already like all the basics in your head. So now your task is to build up the conceptual ideas or the concepts through practicing the questions. So your attempt is to actually practice any chapter through problem solving, not like if I go to the theory first and command the theory and then apply into the problems. It will never happen. So the better is try to revise the chapter through the problem solving. So for that, of course, the previous year JEE Advanced problems are there, and they're the best mentor, I believe. So start from all the questions from 1998 through 2025. So these many years, I must recommend, I must suggest to practice each and every question. And even the students are very reluctant to practice those column match type of questions. So suppose you are doing one complex number chapter, you must select all the, suppose you are doing complex number chapters in 2013, and you found the complex number is also asked in a match type, just do them also. So these kind of dedication is required for each chapter, for each topic. Again, there are some books, of course, the Singays and all the modules where you are studying or where you have taken the course for. And so those are also important. And after solving every question, analyze why you made a mistake. If there is a mistake, write it down and build a personal mistake logbook or any notebook. The third part is The important is to build the problem solving stamina. The problem solving stamina means that try to just analyze yourself. If you are watching a video and the solution of the question done by any creator is very slow, are you that much concentrated or focused to go with him or with her or any teacher? Because sometimes what happens, the teacher is very slow just by their choice. They can do the calculation very fast, but since they have to make some point, they are very slow in videos. If you are doing the videos, if you are in offline class, try to go with the teacher rhythm, and that will give you the stamina to sit quietly. You can analyze that there are many such questions asked in the previous year question list, especially from coordinate geometry problems. You can see that there's a very huge paragraph. So are you patient enough to read the paragraph carefully and understand the problem in one go? Means while you're reading the first sentence, are you understanding the sentence? Are you failing to understand this in one go? If you're failing, that's not a good sign. So try to understand every comprehensible problem or the passage question in one reading. Means once you are reading that, understand at the same time. So maybe the students have a habit to actually read first just for the sake of reading. Again, they read it to understand the question, and this will also kill the time. Maybe the third time they read to understand it fully. So you have to to build a habit. You have to install this habit by just practicing of reading that thing, and that will actually add up your this stamina. The stamina simply means that regularly you must have a 2 or 3 hour practice session, and this 2 or 3 hour practice session you must have a mental stamina as well as the physical stamina. Are you getting bored of solving? That is not a good sign. You must enjoy or involved. The mathematics may seem boring, but once you get into it, it will take you to the very interesting journey. One thing I should also add up to it is the mock test will be the proper what we guide, or we can say the mentor for this kind of stamina building. Like this will give the mock test, give you the proper timing and also the pressure, so you can build up your stamina of problem solving. And mainly the problems, what I said for the coordinate geometry, but you can add also this algebra, calculus, and all these things are there. And remember, the last thing is the advanced level problems need 3 things: the strong basic, the sharp concepts, and calm problem solving stamina under pressure. They're the only 3 things required. Because if I give any student who is preparing a little bit with dedication for JEE Advanced or JEE Mains, if I give the question paper to him or her, she can do by just taking her time for 3 hours or 4 hours, all the questions she can do. But the only thing we have to do in 1 hour. So for that, suggestion is you must have a strong basic, you must have a sharp concepts, and the third important thing is a calm problem solving stamina under pressure. I wish you that your drop year is not a so-called drop year. It's a deep work year for you, and you will utilize it well, and you'll be amazed at your strength at the end of this year. And I wish you all the best, and you're going to rock in the next JEE Advanced. So these are 3 questions I have taken this week. Keep commenting. I would like to answer on next Sunday or next Monday. I will again do some other answers. Thank you very much for the patience. Stay math active.